This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests are here today from Inspire Alcona. I have Laura Frawley and Eric Lawson. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Nancy. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and give us a background in Inspiration Alcona.
Yes. It actually started, there were several of us who took a class through MSU Extension, a leadership class, and I had taken the class before, but last year, or it actually would have been the year before last, it was a little bit different format. They divided the class into two groups, and our group was tasked with creating a project that would enhance the quality of place for Alcona County. And so everybody kind of came up with ideas and pitched them to the group, and the idea that got picked was helping to create a new economic base for Alcona County by taking advantage of what we already have there. We had been studying, and keys to thriving communities, communities that thrive in good times and bad economically, have a unique sense of place. And so, God bless you.
Yes, I'm allergic to something.
I hope not me.
No, I'm sure it's not.
So we wanted to look at what did we have in Alcona County that made us unique, and so we took note of the natural beauty. We also have a lot of really talented artists and musicians who live in this area, this region. And it's surprising for such a rural area to have so many talented musicians and artists. So we thought, why don't we couple those things and help create a situation in Alcona County where we develop a reputation for being a place where people want to come to study their craft and to be inspired by the natural surroundings. We have so much beauty in every season. And so we decided we would target baby boomers. Millions of them are retiring every year. They've completed their careers, they've raised their children, and now they want to plug into their own creative juices and find out, what can I do with this? And they also have the most expendable income of every age group. So we thought we'd target them. And so we knew this wasn't a project we would be able to do within the confines of the class, so the people were really committed to it. We put together a committee. We actually incorporated and became Inspiration Alcona, and within a 9-month period of time put on our first Alcona Arts Retreat, and did it without losing any money, which is unheard of. It was a huge success. Lost Lake Woods hosted us. It's a perfect place because there's lodging there and it's beautiful. But we did workshops where people traveled around the county to see different things. And so this year we're doing the Alcona Arts Retreat again, September 5th through 8th. It's the weekend right after Labor Day. And the 5th really is a Thursday, but we'll have a wine and cheese reception to welcome the people coming that night, and then the workshops actually begin on Friday. Lost Lake Woods is hosting us again, but we're doing, I wanted to list the workshops.
Unbelievable workshops.
Yeah, we've got a plein air oil painting with Carol Yeager, and they'll be out in the field actually painting from nature. A plein air watercolor with Ellie Harold, same thing, they'll be out in nature painting. Pastel painting with Helen Klasinski, digital photography with Susan Lawless, and again, there'll be some classroom teaching with that class, but they'll also be out in the field as well. Quilted thread paintings with Brooks Hinnerman, and then we've got a poetry writing class with Jack Riddy this year, which I think will be really interesting. A hammered dulcimer class with Judy Morningstar, a songwriting class with Dan Hazlitt, Flute of Many Colors with Mary Ann Hubbard, and that will include some individual lessons as well. Dancing Through History with Glenn Morningstar, that's a contra dance, and that will include kind of the history of dance from the 1650 on. He'll talk about the kind of dances they did in Jane Austen's era, but up through the dances that came to America with the colonists and how that developed, and ultimately then we'll have a contra dance, which is kind of a mix between square dancing and line dancing. We've had 3 contra dances in Alcona County this winter. We had one in March, one in April, and then in May, we had Glenn Morningstar come. He spent 3 days at the school with the students, teaching
wonderful.
the students. And then May 10th, we did the John Stevenson Memorial Contra Dance and had a great turnout. It's so much fun. Anybody
Sounds
can do
like
it. You know, you don't have to be a dancer. Anybody can do it. It's just a lot of fun. So we hosted that, and so he'll be there to do that. And then Eric will be there doing his strings, and that will also include some individual instruction. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, thank you,
Sure.
Eric. Take it away.
Yeah. Well, first I want to say one of the things that I like about this model is that it's kind of like summer camp. And one of the things that we have learned now in research, and of course I'm not a scientist, I'm not going to be able to tell you all the ins and outs of all of that, but we do know that one of the amazing things about young people's brains is that they seem to be hardwired for learning very quickly and assimilating lots of information. Now, I've found in my teaching of adults that when you try to teach an adult an instrument, it's harder than if you're teaching somebody really young. But if you can get them to sort of switch gears and go back to learning the way they used to when they were young, they progress more quickly. And so you put them in this setting where you're taking them out of their normal lives, and ideally these folks would be resident on site at the retreat. And I think you can sort of trick people into being a little more childlike in their learning, a little more youthful, and it's really stimulating. And the times that I've seen that happen in adults learning instruments, it's really fun, and they learn very quickly. So I think that's going to be really useful in this learning model.
And we want to let people know the class sizes, most of them are only limit of 12.
Yeah.
So you will have time to do individual lessons, and you're going to do violin, viola, cello, as well as practice and ensemble work.
That's right. Yeah, the main focus of my end of this is going to be the ensemble, where we're going to form string quartets, or depending on who shows up, maybe little duos, depending on what the instrumentation is. But there'll be that, and we'll focus on a variety of music, but probably a lot from the Baroque and classical period, maybe some Haydn and Mozart and Vivaldi, for example.
Yay.
And then, of course, there'll be time for them to play for each other and get some comments from their peers, and I find that's usually nothing to be afraid of. It's usually a very positive experience, and people sometimes think to say things that wouldn't occur to me necessarily, and it creates a very supportive environment. And then, of course, they'll have one-on-one time with me as their instructor.
Perfect. Well, unfortunately, we're almost out of time, so we want to talk about Elkona Arts Retreat. The dates are September 5th through 8th, 2013, once again held at held at Lost Lake Woods Club. And registration actually ends on June 15th, so...
No, that's what
early
registration.
early.
It's $225, but we have an early bird special. If you register before June 15th, it's $200.
Okay.
So I also wanted to mention, we do have some corporate sponsors.
Oh, yes.
WKJC 104.7 FM, WIOS AM 1480, Hits FM 94.9 in Alpena and 103.3 in Tawas.
Okay.
Women to Women in Lost Lake Woods. And individuals can also be sponsors. They can be a gold sponsor for $300, a silver sponsor for $200, and a bronze sponsor for $100. And anybody else who wanted to donate anything less than that would be a friend of the Elkona Arts Retreat, and they would be on all, the sponsors are listed on all the literature, on the signage, and so they get a lot of PR for being a sponsor.
And if anybody would be interested in being a sponsor this year, they can send a check made out to Inspiration Elkona,
Okay.
P.O. Box 98, Harrisville, Michigan, 48740, or check out the website at www.inspirationelkona.org.
And a phone number is 989-736-3000. So people, this the beautiful brochures out that explain everything in detail. If you're an artist or want to be artist or just enjoy spending time with artists, or if you've ever wanted to check some of these things out, check them out.
One of the great things we've added this year is that there'll be a time for all the people attending to just talk with each other from different disciplines, talk about what they're doing, what they're learning, what they're going on. So, you're not going to be limited to the music side or the art side. There'll be a chance for artists to talk to each other, and I strongly encourage everyone to check out the website at inspirationelkona.org. It's beautiful. It has all the information. There are samples of the instructor's work, and it really explains in detail what each workshop is. And you can register online as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you both very much for being here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'll be right back with some information about Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Steph Gandula from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Good morning.
Good morning, Nancy.
Now, you just got off the Lady Michigan
Yes.
as we're taping this, and how did it go today? Alcona County students?
Yep, we had just 90 students, 90 high
Just,
school
okay.
students from Alcona, and then a class from Thunder Bay Junior High. And so it was a nice full boat, lots of energy, lots of excitement out there as we went right into Shipwreck Alley. Beautiful sunny day.
Oh, yay. But
Lots of
today
fun.
we want to talk about a wonderful exhibit that you're
Yes.
getting from the Smithsonian. It's Journey Stories.
Journey Stories, yes. I'm really excited to announce that, that the Smithsonian is coming to Alpena.
Yay.
Yes, and so we were awarded a grant through the Michigan Humanities Council to host the exhibit Journey Stories. And it is, like you say, a Smithsonian Institution traveling exhibit. Only 5 communities in Michigan were awarded the grant to host the exhibit, so we're a special place.
Yes.
And we are the initial host site, so all the other museums are going to be traveling to Alpena to learn how to set the exhibit up. And they'll be here for the grand opening, which is going to be June 1st.
Okay.
June 1st at 2 p.m. And I'll tell you more about that in a second.
You do realize that's coming up very quickly,
Oh
right?
gosh, I do.
Okay.
I do. Very soon. So the opening exhibit, Saturday, June 1st, 2 p.m. But the exhibit it's a unique exhibit. Journey Stories. You might wonder, well, what exactly is Journey Stories? And it's really a compelling and engaging examination, a look at how Americans have with the evolution of transportation and migrating across the U.S., whether it be coming to the U.S. or migrating across, forced migration, or gold rush, or Dust Bowl, or even personal travel journeys today. It examines all those stories and really takes a close look at how Americans truly are a very mobile society. They say that Americans are the most mobile society in the world.
I believe it. So it's coming on June 1st. That'll be
Yes.
the grand opening. And right now we're looking for volunteers. We want to
That's
get
right.
volunteers to come in, be trained so they can be docents. What a wonderful opportunity.
Yes, it's a great opportunity to put, we're really encouraging high school students to apply to be a docent.
Okay.
And a docent is essentially a volunteer that will take people through the exhibit. And if you're interested, we'd love you to call us at 356-8805 extension 38 and get signed up. And what you would do then is really interact with the people coming through the exhibits. And another engaging part of the exhibit is we'll have an iPad there, and people will be able to share their own journey story. And then that will be uploaded to the Smithsonian website to live in perpetuity. And so another cool part about that, the docent opportunity for anyone, is they will be trained by a Detroit Institute of Arts docent specialist, is actually traveling to Alpena to do the training.
And what hours will the exhibit be available for people to come in and see?
We start our summer hours on Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
And we'll be open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Okay.
But in July and August, we'll be open until 7 p.m.
Oh, wow.
But the exhibit, the time for the traveling exhibit is June 1st through July 26th.
Okay.
Another really cool thing about this exhibit is it's a great opportunity to work with other cultural institutions
Yes.
in the city. And so we have the Besser Museum is doing complimentary exhibit. They're going to show in the planetarium Journey to the Moon, another type of journey.
yes.
Art in the Loft is doing a interactive create your own journey where you can actually, they'll give you a postcard, a stamped postcard, and you can create some image on it and send it out to whomever you choose. And then the library, Alpena County Library, has a book list, and they're also going to have a number of programs.
Wow.
Lots of stuff
In
going
our
on.
community, you know, when you talk about how lucky we were to get this exhibit, you know, we get things at the museum that no one else can get. We get things at
Right.
the library that no one else can get. And of course, over at the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, you do too. And what a wonderful town, and the collaborations that go on between agencies and
sure.
organizations. What a great thing for everyone in our community.
Yeah, it's a really neat to see the open working relationships that we have and to share these resources that come into town.
Now, I'm understanding, if I remember reading the email right, that they want you to commit at least 8 hours
That's
during
right.
the time of the exhibit.
Right, 8 hours in an 8-week period in 2-hour shifts, so enough to be familiar with the exhibit, but not a huge time commitment.
Oh, wonderful.
Right.
And then we just want to talk, we know that the 4th of July is right around the corner too,
Yes,
and we're still
wow.
looking for sponsors for all the wonderful events. If you want a
Right.
sponsor opportunity where your name is going to be seen by thousands of people at a wonderful, wonderful family event, please contact you again about that.
Yes, yes. Go to thunderbay.noaa.gov or give us a call at 356-8805, and we'll get you signed up to be a sponsor.
Or check us out on Facebook.
Oh, of course, check us out on Facebook. Yes, lots of activity happening there.
And then back to Lady Michigan, I know that you have a lot of school groups going on right now, but if you have a church group, a civic group, an organization, you know, call, get some prices, get together, have a group of people. There's room there to have a picnic on the grounds when you're finished, and all kinds of fun stuff to do. So make that a plan too, because it's a wonderful supporter of Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary and all the programs. Plus, when you go up Shipwreck Alley, you can't believe what you're going to see.
Oh, it's exciting out there. Yes, lots to see. And we're getting a lot, Alpena Shipwreck Tours is getting a lot more private charters. And so people are doing just what you say. They're planning birthdays, even weddings, company get-togethers, and in addition to all the classroom cruises. So we're thrilled to be doing the tours on the boat in partnership with Alpena Shipwreck Tours.
Yay. Anything else exciting going on for the summer? We have about 2 more minutes left.
Well, I could talk a little bit more about the Smithsonian exhibit, because it is seriously a Smithsonian class exhibitry.
Wow.
And so it's neat to be able to bring that to Alpena, and I think I'm excited to see it set up. It's going to have lots of historical images. I don't know if we'll be able to share some of those on TV maybe next time, but lots of historical images, audio, interactive exhibits for people to look at, and it's going to be a great show. And we also have a lineup of programs to go with it. So there's the exhibit and the docents and all that activity happening there. And then we're going to have 2 children's programs based around Journey Stories, where the kids at different ages will come in and be able to do an activity and participate in sharing their journey story. And then we have a couple of maritime historians, specialists in Great Lakes journeys, who are going to come and give talks on July 11th and July 18th. And this program is all going to be available on our website. But 2 renowned maritime historians to talk about the maritime focus of Journey Stories. And then finally at the opening on June 1st at 2:30, we're going to have the reception and everything, and then at 2:30, the Smithsonian scholar, Anna Pegler-Gordon is her name.
Wow.
And she is going to come talk about, she's an immigration specialist and a professor at MSU, and she's going to come talk about Alpena's journey story and how different groups immigrated here and their experiences here.
Wonderful.
And once again, that is free at the Heritage Center.
Okay. Phone number and website one more time.
Yes, 989-356-8805, and you can reach me directly at extension 38.
Okay.
And then thunderbay.noaa.gov.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm so excited about all the wonderful activities going
we
on
are
in our
too.
town this summer. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy.
See you next month.
Okay.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joynton, president of Alpena Community College. My pleasure to welcome back to the program Director of Admissions, Mike Colleen. Good morning, Mike.
Morning. It's always nice to come in and talk about what's new and happening at ACC.
Very good. Well, you're often on the program when we're about to launch another semester. In this case, it's summer semester for 2013.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the weather's starting to warm up out there. It was sort of a late spring, but now the weather's getting nice. It's time to start talking about summer classes. And we got a wide variety of offerings available at ACC. A number of them do start tomorrow, Monday, May 20th, but they're sort of scattered throughout the summer depending on what it is you're looking for.
Lots of different options. And, why do students come to ACC for summer school?
Well, a couple of different reasons. You know, there's students who are, ACC students throughout the regular academic year that they're just looking to try and grab an extra course or two to sort of stay on pace for graduation. We have students who are away at the four-year colleges, and now they're home for the summer looking to grab a class, a general education, a math, a science, a English, or political science to transfer back to their four-year school. And then, of course, we have those high school students who just finishing high school, maybe looking to get a jump start on their college career, for the fall. So sort of a variety of different groups.
Several different motivations, and then the people in the community, a little bit older perhaps, just interested in the lifelong learning mission of the college, finding something new to take. Well, you mentioned several different formats for the classes. I suppose the big framework would be 12 weeks. Some courses in the natural sciences, I believe, go in the whole 12 weeks because of the extra lab work there. And then within that 12 weeks, a 6-week session starting tomorrow, and then another 6-week session starting around the 1st of July.
Right, exactly. And that's sort of how we did it. There are some classes. I mean, the summer is sort of a condensed format. We're still covering the full, information for the class in a smaller time frame. Some classes, like I say, math and science, the full 12 weeks. Some classes, the faculty, the instructors have said, I could cover the information in a shorter time frame. That's those 6-week pods we have. So, one starts tomorrow, the other one July 1st. And then, as you mentioned earlier, there's that sort of those personal interest, I'll call them hobby or exploratory courses, that we have some of them that are just like 1 week at a time. We have some diving classes, archaeology classes, those types of things that may spark some personal interest as well.
Yes, Richard Klutz, renowned for the 1-week archaeology class in which essentially there's an orientation the Monday, and then it's field work for the rest of that.
Yeah, that's a Monday through Saturday program. That's a Monday through Saturday class that's sort of all day, you're right. And they go out and do a dig. And you're right, Mr. Klutz has been doing it for a number of years, and it's always a very popular and successful class.
Right. Also, some of the briefer courses are connected with our new Maritime Technology course, which is all about ROV operation, design, maintenance, and use. And then a couple of the classes relate to the scuba diving certification that's part of that program.
Yeah. The first one starts June 3rd, and that's a week long. That's an open water diving class. It's 1 week again, much like the archaeology class, sort of 9 to 5. You go and you're sort of learning how to get what's called PADI certification, P-A-D-I certification. And then the following week, there's an advanced class, an advanced open water diving, to where it's my understanding they'll take students out and they're going to do a 40, 60-foot dive, learning the equipment. Obviously, you're out there under the water, 40, 50, 60 feet. You've really got to know your surroundings, your equipment. But very popular last year, and hoping to be again this year.
Good. Well, let me ask you a question about that. Do students in those diving courses have to be enrolled in the Maritime Technology program at ACC?
Not necessarily, although those classes do apply to that program.
Yes.
You don't have to be. You could be a community member just wanting to learn how to dive, explore the great Thunder Bay out there with our marine sanctuary that's so popular here, and sort of see what diving's all about. It's a great introductory course.
So I believe then, as with last summer, we have most of the students perhaps in the Marine Tech program, but some who just want to learn how to dive and are looking at this opportunity. And who knows, the diving experience may whet their appetite for the Marine Tech program.
Right, exactly. And later in the summer, there's a couple of classes like a maritime history class, Great Lakes issues, and so forth that are a little bit week and 2 weeks as well. Those are great courses where you go out, spend some time on a research vessel, and so forth. So sort of exploring sort of who we are up here, the sanctuary.
That's great. Well, the past week we've had the National Association of Maritime Historians meeting at the sanctuary. And so it's great to see the college tying into the maritime heritage in this way and kind of supporting the brand for Alpena, Sanctuary of the Great Lakes.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, in addition to the summer instruction, one question about the summer school before we go on. Is it possible for students to enroll tomorrow in classes that begin tomorrow?
Yes, they're going to want to try and get in as soon as possible. Obviously, you don't want to miss class and so forth. The office is open at 8 o'clock in the morning. Van Leer Hall is where you're going to want to come into. Right in the front door, there's an information desk, the admissions office, the registrar's office right down the hall. Lori Dazinski and her whole crew does a great job. We can get you started. But a lot of classes, they don't necessarily all start tomorrow. Some are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday classes. But certainly get in as soon as possible for availability and sort of set your schedule.
Slide in on Monday and then go ahead and get started.
Right.
One other thing concerning financial aid in the summer, some of the federal Pell Grant regulations have changed. So if you're on a Pell Grant, you can't get new Pell Grant money for summer school. However, if you were smart enough to save some of it back, hold it back during the fall and spring semester, you can still use that Pell Grant money.
Exactly. Financial aid is for the academic year, but you only get so many dollars. So some people maybe were 3/4 time, they would still potentially have some money available. Rob Roos, the entire financial aid office, right in Van Laer Hall. It's sort of a one-stop shop. You can get everything done right in Van Laer Hall tomorrow or anytime next week.
That's good, and that's kind of a heads up for students on Pell Grants
Right.
this coming academic year. Hold some back if you want to go to summer school.
Exactly.
As we conclude, we also want to mention the summer registration periods for the fall semester. When do those occur?
Well, right. It's never too early to start thinking about fall classes that don't start till the last of August. But we're going to have 5 days this summer where advisors will be either in Alpena or in Oscoda. Both 2 days in June here in Alpena, June 11th and 12th. That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday from 1 to 5. No appointment necessary. Just come on in. Academic advisors will be there. And then on Wednesday, June 19th, we're going to be at the Huron Shores campus in Oscoda.
Very good.
And then the 2 days in July, July 10th and 11th, that's a Wednesday, Thursday, 1 to 5 here in Alpena. Come on in, no matter what program you're interested in, full-time, part-time, advisors will be there to help get you registered, financial aid staff, we'll get you taken care of.
That's great. Well, thanks for being on the program, Mike, and thanks to you and all your colleagues who do a great job recruiting students and operating the admissions office.
You're welcome.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.